It was very unique and exciting to watch that blast unfold, because after that blast was shot, you could see part of the nose right down in here emerging. And it was very exciting for us all to see. And there was a lot of thought and planning that went into that blast, as all of them up here on the mountain. But that was a unique and very exciting blast for us.
That was a beautiful blast. There were weeks and weeks of preparation in that blast. We used the torch to cut the channel below the nose so that the nose would be isolated from any vibration. 2 or 3 of us worked on that channel through there for, I think 3 or 4 weeks it took to carve that through with the torch. Charlie and I forget who else drilled those holes now, but several of our crew drilled the holes there. I believe they were 20-some feet deep. It took us, most of the crew, most of a day to load the explosives. It was delayed. There were 10 or 11 delay periods in it, I believe. This is 5 years ago. It's hard to remember. Probably less than a pound of explosives at any one time during the blast, because we were so close to the face, the mouth, and so close to the nose. And when we touched the button and set that off, it just peeled that rock off and tipped it out on the arm, and there was a nose. It was beautiful. It was a real fun blast to be involved in.
I was inspired after that blast. I hadn't been here for very long, and I had watched that from a distance, and I never really worked on the face per se. And I saw months of preparation and work by a whole group of people to put that blast together, knowing that it was probably the most critical blast that we had done, certainly in my career there, and most of us that had been working on the mountain at that time. And to see that be implemented and executed and do exactly what we needed to do was exciting. And it inspires you to continue to do that kind of work, because one of the most common questions is, how do you know not to take too much off, or how do you know where to blast? And I think that was a prime example of how we know what we are supposed to do, and the fact that it happens just that way.
When we shot underneath the nose, that was channeled about 6 feet in and 12 feet across with the torch. And when all that rock just came down and just a little bit out, I mean, all of a sudden you could see Crazy Horse's nose, the silhouette. It was pretty incredible. It was one of the most vivid blasts because you could see such a difference.
How did it feel?
Oh, it felt, he had a lot of pride and a great satisfaction.
Every person that I've ever talked to that's seen a picture of that blast or seen a video of that blast can't believe how well everything went. I'd say it was a thing of beauty.
All right.
Well,
Instant nose.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Crazy Horse Memorial is the largest sculptural undertaking the world has ever known. Sculptor Korczak Julkowski explained the size by saying, "The story of the Native American is an epic which requires an epic scale." When completed, the overall Crazy Horse carving will stand 563 feet high. That's more than 50 stories tall. And it'll be 641 feet long. It's hard to imagine just how big Crazy Horse will be, so some comparisons might help. Crazy Horse will be a little taller than the Washington Monument, and it will tower over the Statue of Liberty. There's something else about Crazy Horse which adds to its magnitude. The entire mountain will be carved in the round. A scale model illustrates how Crazy Horse will be carved three-dimensionally on all sides. When completed in the round, the granite mountain will look on all sides like Korczak's scale model. It's hard to get a perspective on the huge scale of the mountain carving. If you have a 9-story high building in your area, you can visualize the height of Crazy Horse's face. Just Crazy Horse's face is more than 87 feet high. That's about as tall as a 9-story building. The face was completed in 1998. The dimensions of the facial features also are amazing. Crazy Horse's nose is more than 27 feet long, and the nose is 17 feet wide. That nose sticks out almost 9 feet in space. Crazy Horse's eyes with the eyelids are almost 18 feet wide and almost 9 feet high. Just the pupils are almost 2 feet in diameter. Crazy Horse is pointing over his horse's head, and his outstretched arm will be 227 feet long. Crazy Horse's hand will be 33 feet high. His pointing finger will be more than 37 feet long and about 10 feet thick. The scale model shows an opening under Crazy Horse's arm. The beginning of that big opening is the tunnel already carved on the mountain. Eventually, it'll be a lot bigger. When completed, the opening under the arm will be 110 feet wide and 100 feet high. In other words, the opening under Crazy Horse's arm will be almost as tall as a 10-story building. Work now is underway on the massive horse's head. It'll be 219 feet high. That makes the horse's head about as tall as a 22-story building. The horse's ears will be 45 feet long, and the horse's eyes will be 16 feet wide. The nostrils will be 25 feet in diameter and 9 feet deep. Remember, the massive horse's head, as well as the rest of the sculpture, all will be carved in 3D in the round. Only one feature of Crazy Horse will be man-made. That'll be a single feather atop Crazy Horse's head. It'll be 44 feet high. It'll be built from huge blast fragments. A poem also will be carved on the mountain as this painting shows. The poem will have huge letters 3 feet high. That's so the poem can be read from a far distance. The painting shows how the colossal mountain carving will look when completed in all its staggering dimensions. It'll stand as a monumental focal point for the vast nonprofit Crazy Horse Educational and Cultural Memorial.